honor to you and your house, Sarah. My lord, Fear, would speak with you at once. Your aid, in exchange for a sizable stipend. Fear seeks a powerful artifact and requires a companion. He insists you are the... Of course, but if you do not come, he will find another, and you will be left behind, forever saddled with a coward's regret. Hardly a choice, by my estimation. Service to Fear is a great honor, Sarah. Think hard before refusing. My master waits for you in the Mournhold Tribunal Temple. A word of advice. Don't keep him waiting for long. Only the most powerful mage in Tamriel, Lord Fear, known for millennia, plumbing the deepest mysteries of the Orbis. He strides between Mundus and oblivion with ease. Daedric princes tremble at the mere mention of his name. It's not my place to question his decisions. He ordered me to find you, and I obeyed. Lord Fear values diverse perspectives, but he has few mortal peers. So he often breaks bread with unusual people. Perhaps you strike him as unusual.
Thieves can be just as fecal as people, but just as beautiful too.
Someone, inform the guards! Welcome to the... Warrior goddess, mother of lords.
So now you've lost money
Pleasure doing
and your
business.
goods? See? This is why we don't play by the rules.
Ah, you've arrived at last. Come forward. We have much to discuss. Ah, you've arrived at last. Come for... So, you've chosen to join me. Excellent. I seek a powerful Daedric artifact. It lies hidden in a distant land. A gleaming city filled with danger, curiosity, and contradiction. In such a place, diverse perspective is vital. Thus, you. A voyage that only a few have ever undertaken. We will travel to Sothasil's peculiar experiment. The Clockwork City. I have inquiries to make. You will assist me. I do. The Tribunes are not so clever that they could hide such a place from me for long. The city is quite close, and also very far away. Just the first of Sotha Seal's many paradoxes. If you choose, you escaped the prisons of Cold Harbor. Truly, I think it would be easier to escape an iron safe at the bottom of the ocean. You show great promise. I can use a slippery warrior like you. Of course you will. Naturally, you have questions. Alas, they will have to wait. Servants of the Tribunal do not look kindly on blasphemous journeys like this one. Meet me at the water. Prepare if you must, but make it quick. Time is not on our side.
Speak to me before entering Mournerd, citizen.
There you are. Come, here, behind the waterfall. My companion arrives at last. Now then, our journey begins in this dreary little cave. Quite a surprise, yes? Believe me, it won't be the last. We can speak freely here, but do make it brief. All this natural splendor is just tedious. The Father of Mysteries, the Clockwork God, the Tinkerer, and other such banal titles. The Sotha Seal, or Set, is a member of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He reigns over Morrowind as the god of craft and sorcery, the wisest and most reclusive of the three. Ha! No one truly knows Sotha Seal, not even his hordes of wild-eyed worshippers. I studied with him before his ascent, and even then he defied comprehension. His only true peer was Indoril Nerevar. Such a shame what happened to him. Indeed, Saint Nerevar the Captain, our king and greatest champion for a time. He died, tragically, during a journey to the heart of Red Mountain. It was all very sudden. Some believe his retainer, Dagoth struck the mortal blow. Others, some believe that Sotha Seal, Vivek, and Almalexia murdered Nerevar so they could take divine power for themselves. Who's to say what really happened? In any event, Sotha Seal emerged from the mountain even more inscrutable than before. I think it's irrelevant. The silence of Sotha Seal may come from a place of grief and deep regret. It might be a side effect of his fierce obsessions, perhaps both. How he became a god is no concern of mine. I respect his knowledge, nothing more. Sotha Seal hides everything. But more to your point, it's not just a city. It's an incomprehensibly powerful, world-shaping device. Can't leave that sort of thing lying about, can you? Also, yes, Seal's fellow tribune. A machine can be studied, and perhaps understood in time. She fears that by reducing their divinity to a machine, Sotha Seal lessens the mystique of their godhood. To his great credit, Seal largely ignores these concerns. A Daedric artifact. I take a keen interest in all such objects, but this one seems especially significant. You see, nearly everyone who searches for it winds up dead. I suspect that someone or something hid this artifact away in the Clockwork City. Other people are not Devaith Fear. I've not lived this long by shying away from dangerous relics. Anyway. Draftier than I remembered. Follow me. Welcome to the dwarven hold of Barnes Arm Shed. Such as it is. Ironic that AM's holy city of Mournhold has Dwemeric roots, don't you think? Curious. Practically no one knows this route, but this scaffolding looks new. Built by rogue ordinators, perhaps? Stay watchful. Sotha Seal always did admire dwarven industry, albeit quietly. Perhaps that's why he built his city here. This lift will take us to the nethermost depths. go. The entrance lies just ahead. You see, just powerful. This is not the brass fortress. Someone diverted our passage. Audacious, but foolhardy. When I find them, I feel cold. Back, creature! My shadow! My power! Don't let it escape! Ready your weapons! I will assist you as best I can! Another batch! Spinning up! Destroy them! Call! To the southeast! Make ready!
Go.
Heaps. My shadow remains close. We must hurry. Swivel swords. Wonderful. I'm in no condition to navigate this maze. Go. Find a way to deactivate these traps. Perhaps I failed to impress the gravity of our situation upon you. If my shadow gets away, we may never escape. Yes. And perhaps... done. Killed by spinning knives is not an epitaph worthy of debate for fear. Now, onward. See what you can find out absurd. Recognize this place now. A pneumatic forge. We should leave as soon as possible. Remedial spellcraft is all I can muster, but I will aid you as best I can. Lead on. At last. Defeat this monstrosity, but don't kill it. To reclaim my power. Stand back. Time to reclaim what is mine. Maliad kebiet tehir! Devakrokad sint morad! Finally. You never know how much you miss a thing until it tries to kill you. More ridiculous machines? I've had enough of this. We still have a long way to go. Behold, the Clockwork City. Finally. Sothasil's brass fortress waits at the end of this road. We should go there at once. Keen to find out who sent us on that delightful jaunt through the Pneumatis. follow this road.
Oh yeah, that felt good.
More important matters to attend to? Fine. Conclude your business quickly and meet me.
Good eye. I didn't even see that runestone at first.
Devate fear. I warned you never to come back. And you, one of Fear's lackeys, I take it.
Luciana Pullo. Hospitable as ever? Go talk to her. I'll not waste my time.
Hold there, friend of Fear. I am Proctor Luciana Pullo of the Clockwork Apostles. I don't know how you and this egomaniac breached Lord Set's Celestiadrome, but I won't have non-citizens stirring up mischief in the Brass Fortress. Only just arrived and already trying to grease the gears? New arrivals must secure an endorsement from a citizen in good standing. I'm prepared to overlook your atrocious choice in companions if you can find a sponsor. Until then, you are tarnished. That's for you to find out. Not many citizens will risk their reputation on a green-heeled stranger, and you'll... Tread carefully, Fear. I'll be watching.
Luciana clearly hasn't lost her charming demeanor. Predictable. Ah, yes. Their bizarre sponsorship custom. I forgot about that little wrinkle. As a friend, I'm not a citizen. And even if I were, I'd not waste time wading through their opaque bureaucracy. You've proven yourself to be more than capable. I have no doubt you'll figure something out. I appreciate your assistance in the pneumatic forge, but for now, our paths must diverge. The artifact we seek will not remain in one place for long. I can ill afford a delay. Navigate this one of Sotha Seal's greater lackeys, Chief Proctor of the Clockwork Apostles. You might have noticed some mild cosmetic flaws. Honestly, I think she's more automaton than flesh and blood. She certainly acts the part. Seal takes all kinds. Imperials, Bretons, even Argonians. Luciana may be one of his oldest servants. She served Emperor Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage in her younger years. Made quite a name for herself during the Akaviri invasion. According to the legend, she was caught in a torrent of arcane energy during a battle with a rival mage. It mangled her body and sent her hurtling through the veil. She eventually crashed here. Seal found her shortly thereafter and mended her wounds. Indeed. At first, I thought she served him out of some cheap obligation. People like her rarely are. You see, I present a destabilizing influence. I reject all illusions of authority and thus reject their entire way of life. Hierarchy, ritual, reverence, it's all a sham. I respect power, not absurd social constructs. Yes, a monastic order of sorts. They serve Sotha Seal through magical inquiry. Apostles, fancy. You mean, are they all half-metal monstrosities? More or less. Some modify themselves more than others. It's a form of reverence. They want to be more like Sotha Seal. You see, Seal has some peculiar... One of Sotha Seal's greater lackeys. Chief Proctor of the Clockwork Apostles. You might have noticed some mild cosmetic flaws. Honestly, I think she's more automaton than flesh and blood. She certainly acts the part. Seal takes all kinds. Imperials, Bretons, even Argonians. Luciana may be one of his oldest servants. She served Emperor Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage in her younger years. Made quite a name for herself during the Akaviri invasion. According to the legend, she was caught in a torrent of arcane energy during a battle with a rival mage. It mangled her body and sent her hurtling through the veil. She eventually crashed here. Seal found her shortly thereafter and mended her wounds. Indeed. At first, I thought she served him out of some cheap obligation. Reciprocity for his kindness. But Apparently, she really believes in this place. I heard they had a bit of a falling out. She still serves him, though, in her dog-like fashion. People like her rarely are. You see, I present a destabilizing influence. I reject all illusions of authority and thus reject their entire way of life. Hierarchy, ritual, reverence, it's all a sham. I respect power.
I must say, I'm surprised to find another newcomer here at the gate. Entering the city is no mean feat. May I assume that you seek a citizen sponsor? My associates... Initially, I thought we could rely on my ample charms to win us a sponsor. Unfortunately, the people here tend to value craft over the pleasure of my company. Providing some... Yes, a clockwork apostle named Varuni Arvel. Apparently, she's a member of the Congress of Calibration, the governing body here in the city. My associates, Kirith and Raynor, are already working on a plan to earn her trust. Will you? This promises to be a fruitful collaboration. I tasked Kirith and Raynor with acquiring gifts for Varuni, but they tend to wander. Kirith's just there by the cliff. You should speak with her. In the meantime, I'll conduct more research. Question? Seeing as you found your own way here, I suppose there's no harm in sharing my own methods? I just learned of a secret cave beneath the city of Mournhold that, until recently, was entirely inaccessible. Can you imagine? Fearing that the tribunal might seal it again, I set off through the cavern as soon as I could. It pained me to leave my usual cohorts behind, but this duo, Kirith and Raynor, have performed admirably. A pair of dark elf explorers. Like me, they delight in all things mechanical. Their youth and endless sibling rivalries can prove irksome, but what they lack in experience, they more than make up for in enthusiasm. Seeing as you found your own way here, I suppose there's no harm in sharing my own methods. I just learned of a secret cave beneath the city of Mournhold that, until recently, was entirely inaccessible. Can you imagine? Fearing that the tribunal might seal it again, I set off through the cavern as soon as I could. It pained me to leave my usual cohorts behind, but this duo, Kirith and Raynor, have performed admirably. A pair of dark elf explorers. Like me, they delight in all things mechanical. Their youth and endless sibling rivalries can prove irksome, but what they lack in experience, they more than make up for in enthusiasm. Seeing as you found your own way here, I suppose there's no harm in sharing my own methods. I just learned of a secret cave beneath the city of Mournhold that, until recently, was entirely inaccessible. Can you imagine? Fearing that the tribunal might seal it again, I set off through the cavern as soon as I could. It pained me to leave my usual cohorts behind, but this duo, Kirith and Raynor, have performed admirably. A pair of dark elf explorers. Like me, they delight in all things mechanical. Their youth and endless sibling rivalries can prove irksome, but what they lack in experience, they more than make up.
How dare you, Kermit? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Because a back totem with delusions of grandeur told her fortune. Do you really believe that?
She believed it. Why can't you see?
See what? That following the predictions of a deluded machine got my mother killed?
So that pompous high elf got his hooks in you too, huh? I told my brother Raynor we should go it alone, but any house in an ash storm, right? Speaking of Raynor, he might need your help. Depends on your definition of trouble, I guess. He's down in the ravine, playing with the firepot spiders for some reason. He wouldn't tell me more. Unfortunately, those spiders have a tendency to, you know, explode. Like I said, he didn't want to discuss it. Probably whipped up an automata disrupting spoon twirler or something. He gets like this sometimes. Just check in on him, all right? He's clumsy and those apostles' mechanical limbs look expensive. Thanks for the help. Raynor's smart, but you can't smart a spider to death, you know? Well, Naramo said we needed something to offer this Varuni character, but from what I can tell, she doesn't really need anything. So I asked myself, what do you get the person who has everything? A home-cooked meal, Argonian pottery, or information. Since I'm a terrible cook, and we're worlds away from Black Marsh, I think I'll go with the third thing. This brass fortress is brimming with gossip. I just need to listen for it. Wish me luck.
Sergeant Baldan, this one has the gold you requested. Will you still sponsor me?
I gave you my word, didn't I? Come, cat. We can discuss the specifics.
1,000 blessings, Walker. Lankin has much to offer the brass fortress.
Hello again. So strange. I'm glad to see you, but I must admit, the statistics are staggering. What are the odds of us meeting here, again, in an extraplanar space? Rhetorical, of course. Honestly. Kirith? So you've joined our band of outsiders. Welcome. Now look, I may lack Kirith's natural talent with a blade, but I can accomplish this on my own. Varuni's sure to sponsor us once I deliver this. Who am I kidding? I do need your help. These firepot spiders contain a highly unstable oil-like fluid. The dangers inherent to acquiring it make it very valuable indeed. I discovered a way to prevent the spiders from detonating. But even diffused, they're more than capable of killing me. So you'll do it? Yes, of course! If you attract the spider's attention, I can use this tonal dampener to disarm their ignition coils. Just a simple matter of inverting their threat assessment array and... Sorry. I can get carried away sometimes. Done. One more, and I think we've got it.
Anyone else?
really made short work of those spiders, didn't we? Here, you can carry the oil. Take the oil to Varuni. Naramo said she has an office in the Clockwork Basilica. Hopefully this will be enough to earn a sponsorship. If you don't mind, I'll accompany you to the gate. Can't be too bad. And just as I promised, my assistant arrives. You brought a gift for our sponsor, right? You did bring a...
Greeting, Auxiliary. Is your friend correct? Did you bring an offering? Fire Patwell. Tremendous. And you managed to keep all 10 fingers. I'm impressed. Thank you. Now, to the matter of your citizenship. You're clearly a capable warrior, but in the Clockwork City, mental precision is of paramount importance. A number of outsiders have gone missing in recent weeks. I fear someone might be abducting them, or worse. But I have no proof. I spoke to your friend Naramo, and he insists you can gather the evidence I need. Succeed, and try to keep this inquiry quiet, all right? In the Clockwork City, even a small creak in the gears can draw curious eyes. Provost Varuni Arvel, ranking Disquisitor in the Congress of Calibration. Before you ask, yes, I'm a bit young for such a tenurial position. Fortunately, Lord Set established a true meritocracy here. One day, I'll get a chance to thank him. Bet? No, Lord Set's far too busy. He only recently emerged from seclusion in the Cognitum Centralis. He's addressed the Congress, but I haven't had an opportunity to present myself. You should be thoroughly prepared when you meet a god, right? Of course. Lord Set, known to many as Sotha Seal, is the father of curiosity. By his word, we create, perfect, and overcome. He cares for all of us, just as a clockmaker cares for each gear in spring. Every piece matters, no matter how small. I do a lot of reading. It's all there in the sermons. Some people think he's aloof, callous even, but I disagree. He stands with us in a way that Vivek and Almalexia never could, and he'll guide us all to a better world. Very little, which is more problematic than it sounds. Any loose cog can carry out an abduction. It doesn't take a criminal mastermind to throw someone down a drain pipe. What worries me is that none of it was recorded by factotums or sentry coils. We record what happens everywhere. Honestly, I don't know how you exodromals do without. You lose so much in Tamriel. Knowledge, memories, and you must argue incessantly. Everything that happens here is fact, documented and verifiable. Exodromal. Sorry, I forget how strange our words sound to foreign ears. Anyone who enters the Clockwork City from the outside world is known as an exodromal, since they come from beyond the Celestiodrome, the glass sphere you'd call our sky. I know, but secrets are the purview of Lord Set, and Lord Set alone. I have nothing to hide. The sermons tell us that only the disassembled engine can be scrubbed and made clean. Knowledge requires light, openness, collaboration.
So, ready to do a bit of sleuthing? I'm confident that we can find this elusive evidence, but it will require some skullduggery. Breaking and entering, to be specific. Ready for the... Varuni suspects that someone destroyed city records. But if my study of Dwemer ruins has taught me anything, it's that nothing is ever truly destroyed. You just need to look in the right place. Here, that place is the Depository Documatus. Sneaking into the depository is impossible for us, but Sotha Seal's clockwork automata enter and exit the structure constantly. I discovered a way to control one such automata, a device known as a skivaton. I am sure you're duly impressed. No, you are. I will provide technical assistance and keep an eye out for prying eyes, both mechanical and organic. Head to the depository. I'll meet you there, after I've wrapped up matters with our new benefactor. If you have questions, you should ask them now. Once we begin our investigation, we'll have little time to dawdle. Honestly, they're not all that dissimilar from the Dwemer devices I usually tinker with. Sothasil clearly learned a great deal from the dwarves. They use an unfamiliar tonal dialect, as it were, but the basic principles remain the same. We will employ a very simple control device. How to explain it? The skivatons send and receive signals from other clockwork automatons constantly. This device allows us to drown out all the noise, making our voices the only sound it hears. As Varuni said, everything here generates a record. From what I gather, those records constantly pass through the depository documatus. When you say it like that, it does sound daunting. It's true. The evidence we seek drifts through vast oceans of information. Luckily, these skivatons seem very capable when it comes to sorting and parsing. I guess we'll just have to find out. I equipped the skivaton with a number of key words and concepts to help it sort out extraneous documents. Have some faith. I've extracted information from tonal vaults and Dwemer.
As I said before, those tarnished redundants down in the slums are no concern of yours. I've instructed the constabulary to keep a strict eye.
What? How dare you, Kermit? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Because a factotum with delusions of grandeur told her fortune. Do you really believe that?
She believed it. Why can't you see?
See
There you are. I prepared the device. All is in readiness. Prepared to see through the eyes of a clockwork automaton? Brilliant. Just activate the skivaton. Place it in the server flume, and I'll instruct you further. As Varuni said, everything here generates a record. From what I gather, those records constantly pass through the depository documatus. When you say it like that, it does sound daunting. It's true. The evidence we seek drifts through vast oceans of information. Luckily, these skivatons seem very capable when it comes to sorting and parsing. I equipped the skivaton with a number of key words and concepts to help it sort out extraneous documents. Have some faith. Honestly, they're not all that dissimilar from the Dwemer devices I usually tinker with. Sothasil clearly learned a great deal from the dwarves. They use an unfamiliar tonal dialect, as it were, but the basic principles remain the same. We will employ a very simple control device. How to explain it? The skivatons send and receive signals from other clockwork automatons constantly. This device allows us to drown out all the noise, making our voices the only sound it hears. As Varuni said... There you... Seeing a lot of interference. Proceed carefully. We can't risk damaging the Skiverton's data collector. Expertly done. That grate should lead to the central depository and our evidence. This depository should contain security documents and recordings. Search everywhere. When you find something, use a Skiverton to make a remote copy. Quickly, Assistant, direct the Skiverton to the exit. Then meet me there to examine the evidence.
How dare you, Khamed? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Because a factotum with
All
delusions
right.
of grandeur.
Let me see what you found. Yes, I believe we might already have a lead. I shared Varuni's concerns with Kirith shortly after you left the Basilica, and she insisted on looking into the matter herself. She cited Constable Baldon as a person of interest. His office should be southwest of here.
I don't care if he is a god. If Lord Vivek holds audience, so must Sophocile.
You've been told before, Pilar. That's not how things...
Ah, there you are. Done playing with Naramo's wind-up toys? I think I'm onto something. I did a little asking around. Word is, Constable Baldan will sponsor anyone as long as they can pay. Where they go after he takes their gold, that's anybody's guess. Luckily, we're here to sort it out. Here, take this memory stone. I surveyed the building. Someone left the door to Boldan's storage loft unlocked. It should provide a great view of his office. Climb up there and wait. When I offer a bribe, you record the conversation on that memory stone. Then we've got him.
There you are! Naramo said you'd be around here somewhere. Have you seen Kirith? Is she with you? He what? How could she? We have to rescue her! You don't have any idea where they took her, do you? Yes, of course. I'll get help. Maybe I could even put together some kind of tonal locator. Bah! Not enough time. What would Kirith do? She would investigate. I'll get the others. You hurry off to Slagtown. That's what the locals call the slums in the northeast corner of the fortress. I must admit, I was surprised to find a tenement like that in Sothasil's holy city. Then again, practically everything here has come as a surprise.
I don't care if he is a god. If Lord Vivek holds audience, so must Sothasil. You've been told...
How dare you, Khamid? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Oil those ankles and keep walking, Green Heel. This one has nothing to say to you. Feh! You outsiders are all the same. Cutting into the queues, poaching our salvage, sneering and putting on airs. You're no better. And so you prove my point. Always trouble, always violence. And poor Saiba is caught in the middle. This on you. Baldan probably threw your friend into the fundament.
honestly.
I don't care if he is a god. If Lord Vivek holds audience, so must Sotha.
You've been told before, Vilar. That's not how it works.
Of all the rudeness I've ever encountered, I demand...
Demand what? A night in a cold cell? That could be arranged.
trouble do you think we can get up to here?
threw you in here too, did they? I knew I couldn't be the only one Constable Boldan got the drop on. You're right, we should. And I could, but not yet. I met another one of Boldan's victims, a Khajiit named Lankin. He's been scraping it out down here, but he's no warrior. I told him I'd get him out. Unfortunately, we got separated. That's the spirit. I managed to yank this sword out of a corpse nearby. It's not much, but you don't need a sharp edge to deal with these factotums. Just a heavy swing and a lot of patience. You ready? Let's get moving. Is that? No, thank goodness. The body's far too old. Let's keep looking.